and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I thought I'd show you first up. I know I can't remember if I said it yesterday or the day before, that I was going to show you the cross stitch once I got it framed. So I picked up a frame from IKEA. I picked up one with a sort of thick border but not too thick, very similar to, in fact it might even be the same range as one of the ones I use for the Paint Gem minis. I feel like there are a few things that need that thicker frame to just make them stand out a bit more, but it is framed. I do need to do a better job. It's currently propped up on a windowsill because I used the backboard to tape down the cross stitch itself, so I will be doing a better frame job, but for now it looks good and it's up for Christmas, which is the main thing, because I didn't think that was going to happen. So yeah, I thought I'd show you that before I get into day 12. Happy 12th of December, everybody. This nearly halfway, not quite halfway, because we have 25 squares on this advent, but I have done a lot of shuffling for this one, so I need to do quite a bit more so that I can actually get to my edges. That is the only thing with using cover paper, is needing to do this shuffling. But I still prefer the fact that I sort of uncover it as I do it, rather than, oh, I prop the cross stitch on top of some bags for some unboxings that I need to do. I've just taken it off and put it directly propped up on the floor. You can go back on the windowsill in a minute. I think I need to shift that one. I think I'm going to struggle with my top corner of tomorrow's, well, if I leave tomorrow's in the way. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. We have day 12. We're going up on this one, and I'm going to use a tray from June of 2022. So this was June this year. This is the large Add More Zest tray, and I'm using a pen that was gifted to me by Lisa. So thank you, Lisa. I have your comments, questions and things here. Let's get my zoom in angle right. Ah, she's having fun in the snow. Let's get her all painted up so that she can play in the snow and we can see what she's doing. I have got a glue dot in this pen. It's actually a little bit sticky, but I think we're good. I've got fluff stuck to my watch off my cardigan because it's cold. I nipped out this morning. All orders have been posted. Yeah, Megan and I worked till quite late yesterday getting them sorted, and then I finished off the last few this morning, but they have all gone to the post office. They are on their way. Royal Mail did have strike days last week. We are now feeling those strike days, especially in the UK. More so in the UK, I think we are feeling them. Some orders are taking about 10 days to arrive. So much so that Royal Mail say the last day guaranteed for Christmas for the UK is today. If it's not posted by today, they can't guarantee it will arrive before Christmas, which is a stark contrast to earlier years. Normally it's around the 19th or the 20th that they say it's the last posting day, but today is apparently the last one that they say will turn up for Christmas, and it's the 12th. But yeah, they are all on their way to you. Hopefully, from what I can see from customers that do choose to have their order tracked, they do seem to be leaving the country with maybe a 1 day, maybe a 2 day delay. But at least then when they leave our country, if they're going to get held up, it's by your own customs or something. Whereas stuff coming into the country, I have quite a few things that I'm still waiting for that were released from customs on the 2nd. And I'm still waiting for them. But we have a few days till Christmas, so I shall not worry quite yet. Hopefully everything will arrive in time. If not, I'll have to be sure to let the family know what post they can open when it arrives. And they can just have a Christmas present delayed if need be. Benefit of having adult children now is that if something is delayed, they can understand the reason why and they can just get it later. And they can open the post whenever it turns up. With young kids, it's not quite the same. Okay, oh, I do have some in here. I have one in there. And I have one in there. Do I have any more other question marks? I don't think so. Time will tell. I think I've tipped out too many again. Story of my life, tipping out too many. So let's get those in and get my next grey. But yeah, thank you all so much for your support with the launch. We do hugely appreciate it. And we are taking all steps that we can to ensure that we can print as many limited edition trays as possible, to the point that we can, have them available for a bit longer to give everybody a chance to get one that wants one. That is the plan. Okay, comments. So Amy, she says, how much will the trashies be? So we're thinking about $2.95 for the trashies when they launch in January. Though we are looking at possibly doing some bundle deals as well on those. All going well. We're hoping to finalise stuff for January's launch soon. So that everything is prepared before I go away as much as possible. And then, I'll deal with any emergencies when I get back before launch, before the actual launch day. Kaylee says you could try using an empty box under the tree. Yeah, Luna has left alone the stuff under the tree. We did, due to needing space on the table where everything that was wrapped was put, we did decide to put things under the tree and just see how it went. So far, she has been really good. We haven't put any of her treat things under the tree because, the smell is far too enticing. But she seems to be leaving the tree alone mainly. The only time she likes to mess is if she gets up on the couch and gets up behind where I sit. There is one decoration that is made of a material, like a corduroy material, and she keeps trying to get that one. I'm sure she thinks that one should be her toy. So I'm so glad it wasn't put near the bottom of the tree. And if she doesn't do it very often, but if she continues to do it, I'll be sure to move that decoration well out of the way. But yeah, she seems to have calmed down now. The initial fascination has gone. Amanda, she says there's nothing wrong with staying in PJs all day. She said on her days off, If she knows she's not going anywhere and no one is coming by the house, she stays in her PJs the whole day and sits around watching TV, diamond painting and getting a few chores done in between. She said today is a perfect day for that. As she can't go anywhere, she says she has COVID again. Oh no. She said it's worse this time than last time. Last time, she said the day she got tested and told that what I had, she says it was the last day that she was sick. And she said she went on vacation to Disneyland, Disney World with the family, she says, and all of us came back with COVID. Oh no. She said her symptoms didn't start until after we'd been home for a few days, whereas apparently the others got sick while they were still on vacation and they came home a day early because of it. She says all of us are fully vaccinated though and getting better every day. She said it's just having to miss more work than originally planned for. Well, if you feel like, I say I've had COVID, I was rotten for days. It really took it out of me for quite a while. But if you're starting to feel better to the point that you can diamond paint, then just enjoy your time diamond painting. It's all I can say. Diamond paint while you can. It took me a while to feel like diamond painting. I could probably handle it a bit better if I could have diamond painted my way through COVID. Would have made me feel a lot better. I think it was the fact that I didn't feel like doing anything that made it more frustrating for me because I wanted to do stuff. My brain wanted and my body said, but hopefully you're feeling better soon and you can start getting back to some sort of normality, whatever that may be. Jeanette, she says she's loving the Whip and Waffle and she's looking forward to this Friday's launch. She said she's hoping to get everything on her list. Well, hopefully you did, Jeanette. It is on its way. It was posted this morning. Hopefully you got everything that you wanted. Poor post office was inundated, but bless them, they're absolute angels. And they sorted everything out for us. Trish says she's loving the advent calendar. This glue dot is still a bit sticky. She says she's actually a couple of days ahead at the moment because she knows there will be a day or two that she can't do it on the actual day. She says she thinks she would like a different design for next year. She said she doesn't think she would want to have two calendars. She says, do you think you will ever design and sell a painting for June Waffle? For June Waffle, never say never. It won't be for next year. I just don't think there's the time, and there's a lot of things going on in the background that need a lot of planning and sorting, and with being away at the minute I don't feel like I am fully caught up, and I do quite enjoy doing one out of my stash. I do quite enjoy getting one done completely and seeing what everybody else does as well as different ones. We may try and look at bringing Zesty Wolf back in case people want to buy that one to do. But say never. It may be something that we decide to do in the future when we can plan for it a little bit better. Once we get things straighter and when I don't have a couple of weeks visiting family in January. Because as much as I thought it would be a quiet time, and while it is in effect a quiet time, the prep I need to do before I go is all done in a busy time. But hey, it will all work out in the end. It will be what it will be. and we will see how it goes. Love the white. Okay, what do we go for? Let's go for the grey. I was wondering whether to finish doing the background then, but I think I'm going to mix it up a little bit, and I might do a bit of both, but I'm going to do the grey dots. Let's not be too predictable. Let's do some grey dots. In effect, it is the next one going up in lines, so I'm sort of being predictable. But I feel like this is still part of the snow, albeit a shadow in the snow. Stephanie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, thank you for another great video. She said she started with just the clear plastic cover and she had to do and replace, she said, with square cover paper. She said it took a long time, but she is glad that she made the change. She's really enjoying doing a square a day. She says her daughter makes fun of her because it takes her a few seconds to find the square that she's supposed to be diamond painting. She says she did put a sticker with a date on the cover page. And my daughter told me I was cheating, and I said, no, Rebecca did it too. Yeah, I mean, we could have left the square off and looked at the schematic for it. But I think it's just a little bit easier on ourselves with the size of the schematic image to have the number on the squares. It just makes sense. And, you know, we've mixed them all up. The design originally was in number order, and we've mixed them all up because it's more fun. It's more fun to do an advent calendar that's all mixed up, or at least it is in my opinion. It's the way I like to do it. Right, have I got all of those? Yes. Now I am going to mix it up. I'm going to do some blue. So I've done the snow, and I'm going to do some of the blue for this background. I do also have just a few of them here as well. Try not to miss the extra little bits in there. And then there's one here and one here, which is still technically the background, but I don't want to not see them. I've seen them now. Lynn, she says, hi Rebecca. She said she was wondering if we will have an advent peek at what will be sold in the clearance. She says, thank you for the wonderful waffle. We will have the same amount of advance warning for the clearance, so it will go up on the website the week before. There's not too many things from the advent in clearance. There is just a couple of bits that will be popping up on clearance. There's a couple of things that we purchased with the intention of possibly putting them in the 24-day advent, but they didn't work for what we wanted. Like, we weren't happy with them to go in the advent. That will pop into clearance. There is a couple of things that we have left over just because of the quantities we bought them in, and they will go into clearance, but it's only like a couple of bits for each, I think. And then there is some not saleable quality items that will be going into clearance, just so that people can grab a bargain if the imperfections that are there don't bother them. So it's a few different bits. Some things we have more of, especially the items that we bought with the intention of putting them in an advent, but they didn't work for what we wanted. We have more of those than we have of the overstock. But it's just a chance for us to clear the decks a little bit. while bringing out, of course, the trashy. So we do understand there may be, especially if it's limited, there may be quite a restriction on how many are available. And some people will grab a bargain and some won't. But there's not much we can do to increase the stock levels of anything, because they're not items that are coming back in the clearance anyway. But yeah, you will have the week's notice that you normally do, where they go up on the website a week before launch so that you can have a look. That's one of the things on my list, is to sort out photographs for all of those items, which is going to be entertaining. I'm waiting for a day where it's as sunny as possible so the pictures can turn out the best they can. That, or I do want to test the lighting under these lights that I use for filming. See if I can get some good pictures that way and maybe have the light a bit more uniform. But yeah, that's going to be a mission. It's going to be a mission one day to get all those pictures, and indeed to do the launch video, because the video will be going up when I'm on a plane on my way back. So I need to do that video soon. Maybe I'll do the video and in turn the photos all on the same day, while I've got everything out in one place. We've written a list. We've written a list of what everything is. Yeah, and there'll be some items that will be clearance that will be normal price, but they will be clearance in the fact that there is only one or two of them. Just to say, either excess stock or stock that was kept aside in case anything went missing in the post. We sometimes keep things aside for that. Yeah. It'll be a variety, but it'll be a limited quantity variety. Crystal, she says, long post, warning. Warning symbol, long post. She said, you were talking about Jackie's post, she says, and about how hard it has been the last 2 years for everybody. And I discussed this on the 6th of December. She said she just wanted to say that she agrees. She said her husband started getting sick in April 2020. She said by September he was in the hospital. She said we found out that he had lung cancer and had to have part of a lung removed. Ooh, she said then chemo. She said then exactly a year later, in 2021, she said they found a brain met. So he had to have radiation. She said all of this during COVID, she said, when it was even hard to see a doctor. She said it's been a very hard road, definitely sounds like it. She says it's hard to relax now. She says that the feel of community, she said, that has always been around your Advent and your June waffles, she says, helps to feel like we are still a part of something with other human beings, she said. She said she found diamond painting, she said, because she couldn't leave him in any room alone. She said, but she desperately needed to craft. So Crystal said, so diamond painting it was. She says, now even my cancer-free in block letters, amazing news. Cancer-free husband, she said, loves to diamond paint with me. So when I say thank you, she says, I mean it, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad I've been able to help, even just in a little way. And you and hubby have got a craft that you enjoy out of it all, and may 2023 be your year. Your stress-free year, your calming year, your new normal year, whatever it may be. I think 2023 is potentially going to be a better year for most of us. as much as 2022 has seen the back of most of COVID, and I'm not saying it's gone, it's not gone at all, but everything else surrounding COVID, while 2022 definitely saw things getting back to more what is the new normal, I think 2023 is going to be an even better year for it. And hopefully it can just be better for everybody. And hopefully, our immune systems and whatever else magic stuff that our bodies do that we have no idea it's doing can help to the point of combating it / reducing its impact on us. Right. Ugh. I like to use the bits out of the tray before I tip more in, but I feel like they're very scattered today. I don't seem to have picked these diamonds up with any sort of system in mind, and they're all over my tray. I've even got some right near the spout. Okay, that's 1/2 done. I've got 2 that are stuck together here. I think I've got a piece of a glue dot on them. So let's stick you down, glue dot and all, or piece of a glue dot. Let's try and pick up these last few, turning them over as I go, and trying to prime my glue dot as I go. There we go. Cleared out what's in the tray, and now I just tip more in anyway. There we go. Let's try and have a system with these. Louise, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's loving this advent calendar diamond painting. She said today is her birthday, which was the 7th. So happy birthday for the 7th. She said, so today's square, she says, with the candles is so appropriate. She says, thank you for all you do for the diamond painting community, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you, Louise, and I hope you had an amazing day and didn't necessarily blow out your candles on the Advent because they look so cute with the little flames. Linda said she had medical stuff to do today. She said, so it was lovely to come home from a bit of a draining day to be able to shut down, she said, and listen and just paint away. And that is the whole idea of the Advent. It's the whole idea of doing a painting over the days of December. Just exactly for those days. You just need that time. Recharge, switch off. I mean, Megan and I finished packing orders quite late last night, but I was still determined, even if I wasn't doing as much diamond painting as I normally do, I was still determined to get half an hour in, at least, just to breathe. Just to breathe and relax. It's just my way of switching off a little bit. And yeah, I did manage to get some diamond painting in before bed. And hopefully tonight I'll get a lot more in because I am on the last 2 rows of I Choose You. And when I'm on the last 2 rows in my cover paper size, I tend to do the 2 rows together and do a block down. So I'm finishing it as I go across. So I'm really enjoying it. And there is quite a bit of blocky white when it gets to the middle. So I'm hoping that will make it go that little bit faster because I am itching to see it finished. It looks so amazing. So happy with it. Crafting with Beautiful Chaos, she says, oh my goodness, she says your cross stitch is gorgeous. Thank you. I do love it. I can imagine it being up for years to come alongside this crazy advent. Nicola said a day full of PJs, she says, is the best part of being self-employed / working from home. She said that and the staff meetings when no one disagrees with you. She said, or you may look a bit odd talking to yourself. Well, I'm kind of talking to myself now, even though I'm not. I'm talking to you guys, and that's what I'm doing in my head, even if you won't see it for a couple of hours yet when it's uploaded. But yeah, I often am in the house talking to myself. Sometimes I think I'm talking to myself whether the camera's on or not, but that's a whole different story. Jackie says she's looking forward to a smaller sticky mat. Yes, so am I. I am itching for them to arrive because I want them to work and to be what I want, but there's also, until I've got them in my hand, I don't know for definite. But as soon as they do arrive, provided they are right, I will try and include them in a video to give you a sneak as to what is coming in January. All going well. Tigress Unicorn says, loving the Advent painting. They said they have the square one. She said she also has the 12 days of Christmas Advent, and I'm opening them every other day. So she's opening day 4 today, and that's a comment on Advent painting on the 8th. So every other day she's opening one of them. She said she must admit, here we go, confession time. She said she was weak and had a sneaky feel, she says, of the upcoming days. And all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. She says she's really looking forward to day 8. Day 8 in the 12-day Advent does seem to be a very firm favourite. She says keep up the great content. I hope you enjoy day 8 when it arrives. Lynn Loves Diamond Painting has replied and gone, not you two. She says, I'm going to give in. I'm going to end up giving in. She said, I just know it. Yeah. Okay. So they are basically commenting about whether they're going to give in or not. I love the little community comments that happen on YouTube as well. It's like the more people that give in, the more I'm going to give in. Well done to those of you standing strong and opening one a day. Hopefully it will be easier next year, especially if with it being the likes of a 24-day that's more available. Hopefully you guys will be able to keep it calm for the 24 days a little bit more. And yeah, make it work for you. Let's hope. Nearly there. Well, background nearly there. The cat lady, she said she ordered her round diamond painting, she said, in the initial release. She has squares in her rounds, she says, but she's just keeping them aside for her future projects. She said she opened her 8th bag today, so bag number 8. She says, yay, love him. She says, already in use. Perfect. These are the things that I was looking forward to. With certain people getting certain days. I mean, we love everything that went into the Advent, but there are definitely a few things that we were very excited for. Jess said, day 8, she says, I squealed with excitement when I opened today's advent bag for day 12. She said, my son looked at me like I was insane. She said, it's perfect and adorable, and she says, all is right in my world today. Lynn Loves Diamond Painting has commented and gone, oh no, now I want to see, but she's only on day 4. It will come, it will come. Jackie said, thank you for the comparison on the size of the pouches. You're welcome. I didn't actually think of it when I was doing the launch video, otherwise I would have shown, but hopefully that helps in determining what you can potentially use the new pouches for compared to our other pouches that will fit bigger than A5. So it will fit the A5 sheets and it will also fit the logbook. I've actually tipped out the right amount of diamonds into my tray. See, that's another reason I wait and finish the tray before tipping in any more, because I thought I'd have to add more, but I finished it. Woohoo! Okay, it's the small things. It's the small things, but it's all good. Right, I'm going back down to the bottom now, and I'm going to fill in the yellow. All Things Crafty by Kaz. She says she opened today's advent. Can you tell I'm on comments from the 8th? She says, and all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. She's looking forward to using it with her diamond painting. She says, no matter which one I'm doing. Love it. Yeah, makes me smile. Jess says her painting is from the original stock and she hasn't had an issue with rounds being mixed in her squares. So maybe, I don't know, it might be a bit of both, because somebody who's got rounds has got squares mixed in and somebody who's got a square has not got rounds mixed in from the first launch. We just have to play a fishing game and fish them out. It's all well, you should have plenty of diamonds for what you need, ignoring the incorrect shape. You should have plenty to be able to finish your painting. And you can always throw an odd diamond in of a different shape if you want to play Find It Next Christmas. You could pop a little note on your advent calendar and say, there is a square diamond in this round diamond painting. Can you find it? And in 12 months, you'll be like, which square did I put it in? And you can play a hunting game and try and find it again. It's little things like that that entertain me. I'd pop that on and get the kids to have a look. Lady Dax, she says, she pre-ordered her painting and square and hasn't had any problems with the drills. So, okay, it definitely seems as though it can be hit and miss across the 2 different times of purchase. So we can't use that as the potential mystery. The fact that they were kitting up quite a lot of paintings in quite a short period of time. She says the little basket things that many of us are using as tray storage. So these that we use for storing trays, these are some of the colours I'm going to go through in the next few days, and I'm moving them over. So I'm trying not to use the same tray twice, because it can get confusing from one day to the next. She said she found them on Amazon and shared them in the Facebook group. She says, but she does now know that some people found them in Poundland or similar budget shops. She checked what they're called on Amazon, for anybody that wants to look on there, and they're called Same Plastic Storage. So that's SAIM Plastic Storage. So So you could maybe have a search there in case it is something that is sold in different countries on Amazon. The other option is if you search for that, if you can't find it on, say, US Amazon, another option is search for it on UK Amazon, so amazon.co.uk. Take a screenshot of the image of the actual tray, the actual storage tub, and you can do a search on AliExpress by image, and you may be able to find them on AliExpress. I don't know if they are there, but you could potentially have a search to see if they are by using the image search. If I get a chance, one of the things on my list is to check all the links on my website for our favourite items, and to go through them all and update them and make sure there's as many things on there as I can. However, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that before I go away, but I might have a bit of time to do it while I am away. So if I do manage to find a link, I will try and make sure there's one up there. Even if not for now, it's for the future. Sherry says she's finally caught up. She says she's been down with COVID. Ooh. She says, but feeling well enough to get caught up with the fabulous Advent calendar. She says she missed out again this year. She says, but looking forward to the next, and she's living vicariously through my videos. Well, I'm sure you'll be feeling even better by now, Sherry, and I hope you're back up to full strength, or at least nearly full strength. Depends what part of it hits you. I found once I was feeling better and able to get stuff done by the day, I was ready for bed. Probably by about 8 o'clock, I just gave in and went to bed at about 9:30. And I think it's only now that I'm actually able to cope with a few later nights. But even so, it's still normally about 9:30 it kicks in that I want to go to bed. Right, I've got a square one. I'm doing it. I have put a square one in there. In fact, I might do two, one either side. I've put a square one in either side, and then I might put a little post-it note on it when it goes away, once it's framed and done, and then I can try and remember where I put them to hunt them out for next year. But we'll pop some round ones in the other ones. I think they'd be really, really hard to spot though, to be fair. They're not very obvious at all. Laurie, she says she's really enjoying both of the Advent calendars, and she says she's pleasantly surprised with the goodies in the calendar. She says, yay. She says, boy, did I cut... It's Laurie with the story. She says, boy, did I cause a bit of a tempest in a teapot by doing my Santa first. She says, my dotting area is placed as such so that she can look out the window to see if it's snowing. She said, I do not let the critters on the calendar to see the outdoor view, nor do I let them watch these videos. She said, smart, right? She says, well, I didn't think any of them could hear these videos, she says, until she looked at the snowman. She said he had two problems. She said, one, he tried the crying bit to see if I would dot him early, but his tears came out as icicles and have messed up his head shape a bit. She said, and two, when it was snowing, He claims he saw his mum and dad falling from the sky and so wanted to go and see them. She said it took forever and some very creative thinking to convince him that he doesn't need to go outside to see his parents. She said, I finally thought to ask him if he wants to come and play out next year, or did he want to go outside now and have the dogs make him yellow and have the shovels toss him across the yard away from his parents. And then on top of that, he would melt at some point in April, because she lives in Minnesota. She said never to be seen again. She said he has realised how fortunate he is to be on the calendar in the house, and he will gladly wait for his day to be dotted. She said he did have a suggestion though. He said he doesn't like the reindeer. See the yellow snow comment. She said, and suggested that I let them outside so I could add some more snow ladies to help him pass the time until next winter. She says, well, what can I say? She says she's so enjoying this advent calendar. She says, and winter is long here in Minnesota. She said, thank you very much. Amazing, Laurie. Absolutely love your comments. And that comment is on the 8th of December if anybody wants to go and have a read of the story of the snowman. The story of Santa is on day 1 and the story of the snowman is on day 8. Amazing. Absolutely love it. Makes me chuckle. Right, I have 1 round and 1 square. Oh, it's not focusing anyway. But I have 1 round and 1 square diamond in here. So let's remove the round. It's a good job I put at least 1 square on there. Otherwise I'd have had to tip more out. Get my little trashy. I've got a white one for today. It was the first one I grabbed. Mandy, she says hi. She says Dreamers Designs comes via Every. She says she's loving this advent. Okay, good to know. I did have an Every delivery on Sunday. Wasn't my Dreamers Designs though, unfortunately. And I think Karis has had an Every delivery today. I'm not sure if it was Every it was sent by. I might have to have a look at the label. So maybe I'm going to have to wait a bit longer for my Dreamers Designs. It will turn up when it turns up. I might go and check on my order again and see if I can track it, but it doesn't give me a tracking number. It doesn't give me a tracking number that I can track direct with the courier, which is a bit weird. So, look, another one, single one again. Not quite, just tipping out a little bit too many. Right, 3 more colours to go. Let's give her a face. Connie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's having such a good time working on the advent calendar. She said she started diamond painting approximately 10 minutes before listening to your daily video. She said so she finished close to the end of the video. She says she also finished the mini holiday painting from the Paint Gem, and she's giving 3 paintings to each of her 2 children and 3 in-law families. She said she found white frames that had 3 sections. 3 sections that were 4x6, she says, and it turns out perfect. Yeah, the Paint Gem mini ones do really frame really nicely in the 4x6. And then you can choose to have a mount on that to make it bigger or not. But 4x6 is your standard photo size. So you can often find frames all over the place that will work for the Paint Gem Minis, which is really good. Definitely helps. Amy, she says, Yodel are bad, she says. Apparently they mucked things up for her by putting them over a wall that they could not see over, and the package went into a pond. Yeah, they're not the best. Well, they're not the best in our area. I know it can be very hit and miss from area to area, and a lot depends on the driver. Some depends on the company, because a lot of the, you know, attitude comes from how they're treated by the company. But yeah, Yodel's not the best. It's not awful, but it's not the best in our area. Whereas Every is normally all right for us. Though a few years ago I probably would have said something different. But the drivers definitely seem to be really good at the moment. Alyssa, she says hello. She says she was very happy for day 8 of the 12-day Advent. She says, but she was also very surprised that it was included. She said, I love it. And she said, thank you very much. You are welcome. We did wonder, but we were like, nah, we need to. Lynn loves diamond painting. She said she did it. Seems like she's opened day 8. She says, and it's my secret wish. She said, and since I didn't reveal what my secret wish was, she says she's not divulging anything. Yeah, I think you opened day 8, Lynn. She also says, Lynn also says that a conservatory is called a solarium in the Canada and US. So there you go. Hopefully that explains it. Crystal also says we call a conservatory a sunroom. She says it kind of looks like an attached greenhouse. Yes, though we do have a brick wall on it. We actually have brick pillars on ours as well. So technically it's an orangery and not a conservatory, because we have a full wall with a brick column that goes around the corner. Then we have all glass with brick at the bottom. Then we have another pillar, it made of brick. Then we have the doors, and then we have another brick before it attaches to the house. So I think ours is technically an orangery, but we call it the conservatory. It has lots of windows and it has a glass roof. And I love the light in it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, there we go. Day 12 is done. Oh, that is filling up so much, and I'm so not ready for it. Oh, we get to do one that has nothing done around it for day 13. In fact, the last one that has nothing around it for day 13, and then we will start filling those gaps up. Oh, I'm excited to do day 13 now. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because we have tomorrow to chat to our heart's content. But thank you all so much for joining me as always, and I'll speak to you all again soon.